Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Believe it or not, there was a time online when YouTube did not exist. Not that long ago, really. When you wanted to publish information back in the day, and I'm talking like mid-90s or so, you would have to post it to a homepage of sorts and hope that people would find out what you were sharing. You would potentially post a link in a news group, or you could use a news group to share information directly. I mean, you could publish your information out there. We didn't have things like YouTube for video, or Twitter, or Facebook, Google Plus, or anything like that at all. So we got our information the best we could using targeted news groups or mailing lists, and still relying on traditional media to tell us what was interesting. So for getting things like information on videos and music, media, multimedia, really, if I can still use that term, audio and visual content, audible and visual, I'm tripping all over my words, things you could hear and things you could see, we would have to rely on reviewers who would often get review units of, say, new albums or new movies, and then give us their feedback so that we didn't have to find it or purchase it only to find out that we would be disappointed. We were looking for detailed information. Well, now, today, if you want to listen to an album, in many cases you could listen to a preview in your favorite music library, whether you use Amazon's digital music online, or if you use Google in their music service, even though I think it's still in beta today, iTunes, or you use something like Spotify, Rhapsody, Radio, whatever it happens to be. You can listen to the album yourself, sometimes in full, without purchasing it outright. So the value of a music critic is not as much valuable as it used to be, honestly. And you'd think that music critics in that, career, that choice of a career path, would have disappeared. But music critics have actually adapted, unlike the music industry, to the changing landscape and adopting the tools that are throughout the world of social media, things like Twitter. So, as I said in the beginning of this particular segment, back in the day, you would publish even a blog post, and that was a lot compared to now. If I want to give a review of something, I could do it in a tweet, and it would have just as much impact as if I had written this long blog post. I mean, you could argue that me doing this video might be overkill. But it's interesting to see, and as we've detailed this in the Locker Room article, the corresponding article for this particular video, it's linked in the description. And if you love music, you might be interested to see how part of that industry has adapted to changes. So they have certainly evolved. And I just want to make a quote from the article. This is lifted from it. You can read it directly if you want. Again, the link is there for you to use. Music critics, I can't even, maybe you will have to read it if I can't even trip through it. Critics no longer have a head start, and their reviews often don't hit the press until weeks after they're no longer relevant and people have moved on to the next big leak. As Weingarten, who was quoted earlier in the article, said in a speech given at the 140 Character Conference in 2009, quote, "Now it's not a game of hearing the right record, it's hearing the leak of the fastest. So whoever hears it soonest gets the leak and gets to share it and gets the credit for it. Music websites report on leaks, and they still don't cover them fast enough because Twitter people cover the leaks. When Animal Collective's last album leaked a month ago, and this is back in 2009, everyone was talking about it. When the reviews finally came a month later, they were completely pointless. All a music review does now is reinforce the opinion that somebody already has." And you know what? You might think, well, I don't care about music or music reviewers. The same thing could be said about technology or food or anything. The world of sharing is just exploded with social media. And if you want to share your opinion about something, and my audience is probably largely in the world of technology, you kind of got to be the first, or you kind of got to be thorough. We take the approach of being more thorough than trying to drive to be first. Although sometimes it's nice to be first to report on something, looking for unique stories, something that's helpful for you. So if you do want to be a tech or product reviewer, you owe it to yourself to read what we've compiled for you, because that career path for you may already be in jeopardy even before you've started down that path, to finish the thought.